Hi friends, welcome to WQLN PBS Homeroom. My name is Miss Brittany, and one reason I love to teach is because I can positively influence a student's way of thinking. Now today we are going to talk about transportation. We are going to explore different shapes and see how they form different modes of transportation. Before we begin, let's talk about transportation. So I want you to think how you and your family go from your house to the grocery store. So you are going to think about how you and your family go from your house to the grocery store. Okay, I want you to yell out your answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, so I could have heard that you walk to the grocery store. I could have heard that you ride in a car to the grocery store, or I could have even heard that you ride on a bus to the grocery store. Great job, guys. Okay, so now I want you to think about different vehicles. When you hear the word vehicle, what comes to mind? All right, so you could think of a couple different things, but I want you to yell out a couple different things in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, so I could have heard car, I could have heard truck, I could have heard bus, and I even could have heard bicycle. Good job. There could have been a lot others, but those are the ones that I thought of. Okay, so now I want you to tell me what transportation drives on the road. What transportation drives on the road? All right, you're gonna tell me in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, so I could have heard car, I could have heard bus, I could have heard bicycle, could have heard a taxi, or maybe even a cab. Good job, guys. So now I want you to think about what transportation drives on the water. Okay, what transportation drives on or in the water? All right, you're gonna yell your answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, so I could have heard of a boat, maybe even a sailboat, could have heard a canoe or even a kayak, or maybe even a submarine. Okay, so now I want you to tell me what transportation rides in the air. Okay, you're gonna think about what transportation rides in the air. Okay, you're gonna yell your answer out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, so I could have heard airplane, maybe even helicopter, or maybe even a hot air balloon. Great job, guys. We should give ourselves a round of applause. Ready? Good job, guys. Okay, so now I want us to talk about some different shapes that you might could think of. You might have learned them in class or even at home, okay? So I want you to think of at least 2 different shapes, okay? So 2 different shapes, all right? So when you have those down, I want you to give me a thumbs up. All right, you're gonna yell out your first shape in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, good. Now, think about your second shape. Okay, you're gonna tell me that second shape in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good job, guys. Okay, so you could have said a square, you could have said a rectangle, you could have said circle, you could have said triangle, you could have said a diamond, you could have said star, you could have said oval, or even a heart. All right, great job, guys. Now we're going to talk about 2 important vocabulary words for today's lesson. Our first is the word transportation. Okay, I want us to say that word together. Ready, set, go. transportation. That word means how people or things get from one place to another. So it could be people, it could be packages, or it could even be our groceries. So transportation means how people get from one place to another. Now I want you to tell me, what does transportation mean? Ready, set, go. Good. So how people or things get from one place to another. Now our second word is vehicle. Okay, we're going to say that word together. Ready, set, go. Vehicle. Good. Now vehicle is something that is used to get people and things from one place to another. So vehicle is something that is used to get people from or things from one place to another. Okay, so now I want you to tell me, what does vehicle mean? Ready, set, go. Good, so it's something that is used to get people or things from one place to another. All right, so now we are going to go into our lesson and explore shapes and how they form different modes of transportation. Now we are going to explore different shapes, and then we're going to discuss how they form different modes of transportation or vehicles. Our first shape we're going to explore is a circle. So a circle has no straight lines or no corners. It is round. All right, I want you to get your magic pointer finger ready, and we are going to draw a circle in the air. Ready? We're going to start at the top, and then we're going to make a round shape, and we're going to stop back at the top, and that is a circle. Okay, let's do it one more time. Get your magic shape making pointer finger ready. Okay, we're going to start at the top. We're going to go round all the way till we get back to the top, and that's how we make a circle. Okay, our next shape that we are going to talk about is a triangle. So a triangle has 3 corners. So a corner is where 2 straight lines meet. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it has 3 corners. A triangle also has 3 straight sides. 1, 2, and 3. So a triangle has 3 corners and 3 straight lines. Now we are going to get our magic shape making pointer finger ready, and we are going to draw a triangle in the air. So we're going to start at the top. We're going to draw a straight line down. We're going to stop, and we're going to draw a straight line across. We're going to stop and then draw a straight line back to the top. Okay, so we had our triangle had 3 sides and 3 corners. Okay, so let's draw it one more time. Get our magic pointer finger ready. We're going to start at the top. We're going to draw a straight line down. Stop. Draw a straight line across. Stop. Draw a straight line back to the top. And we're going to stop right there. And that is how we make our triangle. Okay, our next shape is going to be a rectangle. Okay, so our rectangle has 4 straight sides. So let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our rectangle also has 4 corners. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now the difference between our rectangle and a square is that a rectangle has 2 longer sides and 2 shorter sides. So the longer sides are opposite of each other and the shorter sides are opposite of each other. So our rectangle has 4 corners, 4 straight lines, has 2 longer lines and 2 shorter lines. Now we're going to draw our rectangle in the air with our magic shape making pointer finger. Okay, we're going to start at one corner. We're going to draw a straight line across, straight line down, straight line back across, and then we're going to go up straight line to our starting point. Okay, so our rectangle has 1 straight line, 2, 3, 4 straight lines. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, and it has 2 longer sides that are opposite of each other and 2 shorter sides that are opposite of each other. Okay, we're going to draw our rectangle one more time, so get your magic pointer finger ready. Okay, we're going to start at the top. We're going to draw a straight line at the cross. We're going to draw a straight line down. We're going to draw a straight line across again, and then a straight line back up. Good job. So our rectangle has 4 straight lines, 4 corners, 2 longer sides, and 2 shorter sides. All right, our last shape we're going to talk about today is a square. So our square has 4 corners and 4 straight lines. Now, the difference between our square and our rectangle is our square has 4 equal sides. That means they are all the same length. Okay, so we are going to draw our square in the air. So we have to get our magic pointer finger ready. We're going to start at the corner. We're going to draw a straight line across, a straight line down, a straight line across, and then a straight line all the way back up to our top. So our square has 1, 2, 3, 4 straight lines. Our square has 1, 2, 3, and 4 corners. Okay, we're going to draw our square one more time. Okay, get your magic shape making pointer finger ready. Start at the top. We're going to draw a straight line across, straight line down, straight line across, and straight line back up. Okay, so our square has 4 corners, has 4 straight lines, and all of the lines are equal or the same length. Great job, guys. Now we are going to connect our shapes and vehicles. So we are going to observe different shapes on different vehicles. The first shape we are going to look for is a circle. So we're going to remember that our circle is round. It has no straight lines and no corners. The first vehicle we are going to look at is a hot air balloon. What on the hot air balloon do you see that could be round or a circle? So I noticed that the balloon part of the hot air balloon is round or a circle. I also thought that maybe the bottom of our basket that you sit in could be round or a circle. The next vehicle we are going to look at is a motorcycle. What on the motorcycle do you see that is round or a circle? I noticed that the tires of the motorcycle are round or a circle. I also noticed that the light on the front of our motorcycle is round or a circle. Our next shape that we're going to look for is a triangle. Remember, our triangle has 1, 2, 3 corners. It also has 1, 2, 3 straight sides. So the first vehicle we are going to look at is the airplane. What on the airplane do you see that is a triangle? I noticed that on the airplane there is a triangle for the wing. All right, our next vehicle for triangle that I want you to look for is the sailboat. So what on the sailboat do you see is a triangle? I noticed that the sail part of the sailboat is a triangle. Our next shape that we're going to observe is a rectangle. Now remember, our rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. It also has 1, 2, 3, 4 straight sides. But our rectangle has 1, 2 longer lines, and it also has 1, 2 shorter lines. So the first vehicle we are going to look at for a rectangle is a truck. What do you notice on the truck that is a rectangle? The first thing that I noticed on the truck that was a rectangle was the truck bed. I also noticed that the bottom of the truck is also a rectangle. The second vehicle we are going to look at is a school bus. I noticed that on the school bus, the main part of the school bus makes up a rectangle. I also noticed that the design parts of the school bus have long, skinny rectangles. The last vehicle we're going to look at for rectangle is a train. What do you see is a rectangle on the train? The first thing that I noticed was that the second part on the train is a rectangle. I also noticed that the windows of the train are made of rectangles. The last thing I noticed was that the door was a rectangle. The last shape we are going to look at is a square. Remember, squares have 1, 2, 3, and 4 corners. They also have 1, 2, 3, 4 straight lines, and all of the sides on the square are the same. So the first thing that I want us to look at for a square on a vehicle is a helicopter. What on the helicopter do you see is a square? So I noticed that the windows of the helicopter are squares. Now I want us to look at the boat. What on the boat are squares? I noticed that all of the windows on the boat are squares. The last shape I want us to look at is the last vehicle I want us to look at is a car. So what on the car do you see is a square? So I noticed that the light at the back of our car was a square. I also see that we could make a square out of our car. I also see that our windows are made of squares. All right, so now we are going to get to use shapes we find around our house to draw different vehicles. Now we're going to create our at-home learning activity. We are going to draw a shape vehicle. Now, to do that, we have a few materials and directions we have to follow. The first things that's first is you need to ask your grown-up if you can borrow a few supplies. Now, the materials that you will need, you need a tissue box or any square box. You also will need a rectangular box or anything that is a rectangle. And the last shape you'll need is a circle. I used a tape dispenser or a tape ring, but you can use anything that is a circle, that is a rectangle, and a square. The other two materials you'll need are crayons or markers and a blank piece of paper. To get started, first you need to collect all of your shape supplies. Then you are going to take your blank piece of paper and you're going to place your square on the left side of your paper. I'm putting mine closer to the bottom so that the truck will fit. So I'm going to use a red crayon to trace around my square. I am going to use different colors for each shape so that you can see how each shape makes the truck, but you can use any colors that you want. So the first things first, I have my red square. The next thing that I am going to do is take my rectangular box and I am going to put it near the bottom of the square on the right side. So I am going to take my green and I am going to trace around my rectangular box. Now I have a square and a rectangle. The next thing I'm going to do is take my circular shape and I'm going to place one wheel underneath the square. And then I'm going to take my circle and place it underneath the rectangle as well and put one underneath. So now I have a square, a rectangle, and my two circles. So the square makes up the front of my truck, the rectangle makes the bed of my truck, and the two circles make the wheels. Now you can add any details you want to your truck. The base of your truck is done, so now you can use any colors that you want, and you could even add a window to your truck, maybe a sun and some clouds, or even some headlights and a door handle. Also, with any of the shapes that you find around your house, you can make different vehicles. You can make an airplane or even a hot air balloon, or maybe even a boat. You can find more about this at-home activity at our learning homepage at WQLN.org. Now I'm going to read a book about transportation. Our book is Ride, Float, and Fly by Walt Disney. We are going to read about vehicles that are on the road, in the water, and in the air. Let's go. Our first story is going to be about Mickey. As Mickey drove down his street, he saw lots of people going places and doing things. The mail carrier wheeled her cart from house to house delivering mail. A huge moving van was parked in front of his new neighbor's house, and the movers were unloading furniture from it. A telephone repair truck was parked near the telephone pole, and Mickey could see the repairman taking out his tools so he could fix the wires. By the curb, the driver of a tow truck had hitched up a banged-up car. "Good morning," Mickey shouted. "To you too," said the driver. Mickey turned the corner onto Main Street, which was crowded with buses and cars. The buses were so big, they made Mickey's sports car look tiny. One bus was pulling up at the bus stop, and a man was running to catch it. As Mickey slowed down to avoid workers paving the road, a huge tour bus pulled up behind him. Was it headed to the zoo or to the ocean? Mickey wondered. Then Mickey heard the clickety-click of a streetcar. The streetcar ran on special tracks that were set right into the road, and when its wheels went around and around, they clicked against the rails. The conductor had a bell that he rang to let people know the trolley was on its way. Now we're going to read about Donald Duck. A week later, the crew turned the Daisy D around and headed back along the bay to Fisherman's Harbor. They were sorry they had to go home. How they loved the life at sea. Then suddenly, Donald heard people cheering. When he looked around, he saw some very strange boats in the water, and they seemed to be racing. They were canoes, kayaks, bumping into each other. Someone was driving a small boat with propellers. Someone else was floating in an old bathtub. "Why, it's the great race!" shouted Donald. "Anyone can enter this race in anything that floats. Let's join." Donald and the nephews worked so hard they won a special prize. It was a great way to end a perfect holiday. Our last story is going to be about Goofy. Some of the little planes were called gliders. They flew without engines. A prop plane helped lift them up off the ground. Then, once in the air, they rode silently and gently on the power of the wind. Goofy took a helicopter ride at the fair too. The helicopter flew without wings, but it did have a propeller on the roof that whirled around and around very fast. The propeller lifted the helicopter up and brought it back down again too. The helicopter could fly straight up and down, which planes can't do, as well as forward and backward. And it could stay still in the air without moving at all. A small, noisy plane was zooming back and forth and then circling around and around. As it dipped and turned, it let out a stream of white smoke that wrote a message in the sky. And that is all I'm going to read from our book. So, what was Mickey doing? Did he go in the air, in the water, or on the road? Ready? I want you to yell out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, he was on the road. He was driving a car. Okay, what was Donald Duck doing? Was he on the road, in the air, or in the water? Okay, you're gonna yell it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, he was on the water with his nephews. Now, what was Goofy doing? Was he in the air, on the water, or on the road? Okay, you're gonna tell me in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, he was on the water. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this lesson, and I hope y'all learned a lot about transportation and how different shapes make up different vehicles. Keep reading, keep learning, keep watching WQLN PBS, where learning is brought to life.